first trend that we are all witnessing in India is the e-mobility trend. Government is pushing this. Different startup OEMs are entering into the market, and it started with two-wheeler and three-wheeler product segment, but now we are seeing that it is gaining momentum even in the passenger vehicle domain, and very soon this will enter into LCVs and then uh, commercial vehicles as well. But at the same time, what we are observing as an industry player, as a tier one player, is many customers are now approaching us and asking us to migrate from the low voltages to high voltages. So typically the customers who were using 48-volt battery packs are now trying to adapt to 60-volt battery packs or 60-volt to 72-volt migration. 72-volt to 96-volt migration is happening. This is mainly because of improving the performance of an electric vehicle, making it as appropriate or as compatible as the performance of IC engine vehicle. And the other reason for increasing the voltage rating is also to reduce the cost of copper because of higher currents at lower voltages. Cost of harnesses, cost of bus bars is phenomenally high. So this is one of the reasons why we have to think of isolation management in the Indian context more seriously than before. Another factor is the environment. In India, we are all aware that we have different regions with extremities like humidity or heat or cold, or even whenever there is a heat, there is an effect of ultraviolet. So basically, all of this is actually causing damage to typical insulation. The image that you see here is the effect of corrosion on a printed circuit board. You can imagine the kind of clearance and creepage which was developed at the design stage. After the weathering effect, it is no longer existing. Next important part in Indian context is the monsoon and then the water logging. As the situation is very evident in cities like Pune, every year we experience couple of days of water logging. And imagine these vehicles which are stuck in traffic, which are submerged in water, are electric vehicles. And that too, not the 48-volt electric, but the high voltage electric. So the safety of occupants as well as the safety of nearby or the road traffic participants is also quite important. Next topic that is again related to our environment and our demography is the rodents. In many parts, for example, cities like Mumbai, Chennai, during monsoon seasons, the rodents enter into cars because uh, because of the water ingress, and then when they enter into the cars, then we all know the effects. They could damage the insulation, and imagine this insulation is that of a high voltage cable inside an electric car, so it could create a disastrous effect. We also have the increased number of minor accidents in India. If there is a major accident, there is a tendency to take the car to service station, but minor accidents, many times these are treated by untrained garages. These people who are having a lot of it's an unorganized sector here. They do not have adequate means and know-how to take care of high voltage safety. We also have the aging effect of the vehicle, which will eventually create a loss of isolation. And then, yeah, most important thing is the fire hazard. So I've shown you a symbol here. So this is the international symbol for high voltage safety hazard, and this is for the fire hazard. Basically, these two things are interrelated to each other. A fire hazard could result into a compromise of electric safety or vice versa. And in the last couple of weeks, we have witnessed that some of the renowned brands also were suffering because of fire hazards. So I'm talking about the electric two-wheeler industry. Fortunately, they were all using low voltages, but imagine if this could happen in a high voltage EV, this could really be a disaster.